His face over there, he knows he got you. Yeah,
you know what, I did let Mifflin bait me into that one.
And it happens to the best of us.
It just happens sometimes.
He'll do it to Dave this cast, I bet.
It's real unfortunate. And what really sucks is Bobby's the one who kind of led this on to begin with by even saying that he was the best pickleball player. Let's go ahead and jump right into game number 1 for the Atlantis Leviathans and the Solar Scarabs happening right now. We got Dave and Mifflin standing by.
Yeah, it does happen to the best of us, Aggro, and I know that because it happens to me, and I truly am the best of us. So thank you, Desk, for throwing it down.
Large target, that much easier to kill. It's just very dependent on how well Zapman is performing at that point of the game.
Well, that's why we keep you around, Miff. That jungle nuance, that mindset in the fight. Yeah, that's what you bring to the table, right?
Oh, thanks, man. I try to sometimes. You got me blushing.
Look, you and we've been all over the place this weekend. Just as Scream is here in the mid lane, Shinto burned away, and Scream, the kill participation king, does it yet again. Shinto run down, beads used, doesn't matter. Scarabs on the board first.
Shinto's got to play very safe.
Just with a little extra pressure. He's gone Crusher. First item Zapman has. He's sticking that Mace Tree, gets some of that attack speed. On the other side, though, Miff Stewart stuck something a little more tried and true in the Ikavale. Oh, that's a lot of damage onto Baronic, and there is no chance for the Morrigan. And the Leviathans will answer back, make it 1-1, 7 minutes in.
Red buff invade as well. I believe Zapman was able to strip away the purple.
That might be wrong, you on emoji difference. A sneaky little stun over the wall, Inch perfect, and Scream headed off to the hills. And Scream has Powwow as well. Zapman has beads. That's a beautiful taunt from inbound. Now you see the re-engage. The River's Rebuke won't do much. Solar Scarabs have found one. The second gets pulled in, but just tanky enough is wrong. He'll Riptide on out and away here. Inbound waiting on those cooldowns to get back. It looks like just far enough away. Inbound heads on over to the purple. It's not here, but
and if Scream is utilizing Powwow to burn the beads, you've lost your best CC tool.
Oh, engaged by the purple buff. Has Zapman overstayed? He's taunted out of the Bifrost. And Inbound will grab the second kill of the game on the Athena. And simple as you like. Walks in, taunts out, Zapman down, a bit overextended. And Stewart will get his purple buff anyway at the end of the day. And it looks like Zapman Miff building into what has become more of a standard build, at least on Heimdall, Crusher, into Aussie, into something like the Wind Demon a little bit further down. And so all remains, I guess for lack of a better word, I'll use standard a second time, remains standard for Zapman. Panatom.
Oh, he's
under
in trouble.
A bit of chase here. Inbound, will ult in. It's a blink away from Panatom to the body block. Slow him right on down. Good by Panatom, I think. Yeah, it'll take a little bit longer. And Baronic's able to rotate in and help split this kill with the rest of his team. Can swing out. And if that is going to be the target that is running down Zapman, the Cthulhu, then a Spectral Armor maybe at some point in this build might feel good. Wrong you call him overextended, but maybe it's inbound. Who's on the wrong side of the map? Panatom, Shinto. They're both here to help out their teammates. River's Rebuke is perfect. It separates everyone from SOT. And the first Cthulhu is gone in this fight. The second is now joined to the fray. A taunt back through from inbound. Keeps wrong you right in the thick of it. But Zapman rotates it, and look at the damage pouring into the Solar Scarabs. Inbound will do his best to retreat on out, but he will be locked in place. Killing spree for Shinto. No good on this fight from the Scarabs.
And now the Leviathans grouped up are able to shut down Baronic on the tail end. Credit to Zapman for this one. 17 minutes in. Could be a Fire Giant. You've got the healing from Wrong. 20 seconds on the nearest respawn, and Inbound won't have the ultimate available when he does get back up. Yeah, no, the Solar Scarabs just have to let this one go. SOT takes way too much damage in the initial. It descends into madness at about 50% HP, which is exactly what we were talking about earlier on. I thought it was going to be Baronic doing that, but instead Cthulhu. A little bit slow on the uptake. Solar Scarabs, though, at least able to pick up a consolation prize. Teammates in mid, the Solar Scarabs really just was inbound and Scream ready to follow up on that one. So Yarkor says, word, go ahead, pull me in. Doesn't even use the beads.
Zapman jumped on. Should be a dead Heimdall here. Aegis will get used, but the Bifrost will not be reached. The rest of the Leviathans trying to make the Solar Scarabs pay, but Inbound has been on point with the taunt so far this game, and another one connects. Riptide walked through by Wrong You. Another nice knock-up on the back end from SOT, and a 2-kill swing for the Solar Scarabs on an overextension from Zapman. Might stall out this Fire Giant push, but for the Leviathans looking for more.
They are. Yarkor and Wrong You taunted in. Baronic playing a little bit too far away to follow up, but Scream is not, and picks up Wrong You.
Oh, that's massive from Shinto. Jumps into the back line, gets the first kill of the fight onto SOT, and the health bars are about halfway there for everyone but Shinto in this fight. It is Tiamat's time to go big. and a double kill for the mid laner will hit its
Palau.
mark. Hardcore walks through. Palau's perfect. Solar Scarabs. They'll grab themselves a deicide 20 minutes in.
The Leviathan's playing a little too casually at this point. Yarkor going to try his best to turn a bad situation into a better one, but Scream finishes him off. Double kill to the jungler. And the Leviathans were not grouped up. And okay, all right. I thought the portal was a little bit closer. Maybe Zatman could have made a heroic play.
Well, the health bars are so low, he can hang out, right?
Yeah, if anyone shows up, I'm pretty sure
Galler. This is a 1v1 between Zatman and Inbound. This is a 3v1 over here against Wrongu. River's Rebuke gets thrown out. Panatom is rounding the corner. Palau from Scream up in the air. Wrongu taunted through. Again, another kind of uncharacteristic split-up fight from the Leviathans. Baronic finds the first. SOT descends into madness as he walks forward in the mid lane. Hardcore will back away, and another pick onto the Leviathans gives the Scarabs the advantage.
It just feels like the Leviathans are saying, you won't go on us, and the Scarabs have done it every time. Inbound takes a lot of damage here. Zatman rejoins the fight, and well, now it's time for the Scarabs to retreat.
Whoa.
Panatom in.
Panatom blinks forward. Big stun from Baronic, but a better stun from Hardcore. Deleted. Or two members of the Solar Scarabs. The punch back from the Leviathans is here, and it is quick. Shinto rips through the health bar of Stewart, and now it's 6-2-3 on the Tiamat. And Fire Giant, 100% kill participation if we're keeping that thread of thinking alive. SOT walks forward, stun onto SOT. Fire Giant goes to the Leviathans, but SOT's got something to say about it. And his ult key is what he's got to say. Scream finds his way into the back. Palau up, big taunt in from Inbound, but Zatman's the only one stunned, but nobody's there to put damage onto the Heimdall. Zatman turns the damage right back around, and Inbound the first to fall.
Now it's a pull back in, and Baronic is at least able to take the Fire Giant off the ADC, but at the cost of his own life. SOT
God, what is Hardcore
still
doing?
in retreat, and Yarkor, he's doing no wrong.
Hardcore has just been controlling these two. Stewart and SOT have not been able to step forward. Double kill for Shinto. SOT stunned beneath the Phoenix, and the Leviathans surge forward into the base of the Solar Scarabs.
Meanwhile, Tiamat's minions have been working through mid, so the Leviathans can go straight for that Phoenix. Don't have to concern themselves with this tier 2 on the right, but with so much time to work with, why not
don't have Zatman.
Go for the tier 2 tower? Yeah, Zatman dead for 30 does hurt your odds a little bit here, but 8 seconds on Inbound, 20 seconds on Baronic. I think the Leviathans could very easily walk away at least one Phoenix here.
I mean, if you think it's a good idea to give Shinto Tiamat,
no.
I don't
did you see that damage just did SOT?
Yeah, I don't think it is either. Yeah, a Cthulhu is taking a little over half of his HP in damage, and the rest of the Solar Scarabs taking a whole lot more. Big double Palau, but the Riptide from Wrongu is beautiful, sends him right back out of the stun. There wasn't much follow-up from the Scarabs anyway. Shinto with his 9th of the game. Finally, a Phoenix falls. Could be 10 around the corner if you're giving it to the Tiamat, but no, it's Panatom in the kill feed.
Stewart has respawned, so 3 members of the Scarabs remain standing to defend.
More damage than anyone's been able to touch him with on any of these engagements, except for when he willingly walks in to the mire from SOT. That's a taunt in onto Wrongu. Not loving your Yamoja being that low at the onset of the fight. Don't love Scream being jumped on in the back line either. Keep your eyes on the Tiamat. That's where all the winning has been happening for the Leviathans. Panatom opens this one up with a kill onto SOT. Zatman kiting his way right on back and away. Shinto deep in the back line of this fight, but it's Wrongu who is in the kill column once more. Stewart will dash away from the rest of this fight, but the Leviathans regroup. They put their feet underneath them. They'll walk into the base, and they'll take game 1.
Yarkor went massive in that engagement. Just says, all right, if Scream's the problem, I'm going to sit on him. I know triple kill for Panatom, but this Ardio was a menace.
Absolute menace. Panatom is able to notch a few kills with a triple at the end of the day. The Leviathans buy their time. A back and forth affair at the beginning, but anything but by the end of it, the Atlantis Leviathans run away with game 1.
The Solar Scarabs got what they were aiming for. They tried to find that late game team fight. They were given
by way of the 72 transformations and also the pin, being able to get a nice long range CC to try and set up here for his team.
The main concern I have now is that I don't think, yes, you have the Tiamat to deal with the Cthulhu. We talked about that last game as a potential counter matchup, but the Uller build isn't great at cutting down to someone like a Cthulhu. So how well can Yarkor be controlled by Baronic in particular?
And let's see how well they can do. Game number 2 between the Leviathans and the Scarabs. It's all on the lines here for Leviathans. Can they take it? Let's find out.
Here's the reason the Leviathans won't take it is because the Solar Scarabs win 90% of the game 2s that they play in. It feels like we're destined for a game 3 every time the Solar Scarabs play. We're glad we go over to the solo lane here. Hardcore has Cthulhu this time. For the first time in what feels like forever, there's no Morrigan or Aphrodite with the Cthulhu. as we've already mentioned, Shinto on Raijin. And I'll hold that thought as what looks like a 3 versus 2 could be happening here. Can Hardcore buy enough time? He's bought a little bit, dashes away, survives,
Rip.
but not for much longer. Scream ticks him on down. Thanks to the Mannequin Scepter, Panatom is here, need to get a return kill. If you're the Leviathans, and it's Panatom who picks it up 1 for 1, but first blood bounty feels good for the Solar Scarabs.
Scream now, seeing if maybe he can keep that damage rolling out, trying to leverage it early as inbound, finds himself in a familiar position, goes back in, what?
Back in and he gets the kill. Rongu will hit the auto attacks and put down inbound. I mean, it was only a matter of time before one of these, on Hercules. Talk about any of the CC connecting like that did onto Zapman.
Okay.
Myth, you baited us.
What? Hold on, it's happening.
He drops the excavate, but Panatom is here this time. Unfortunately, no get out of jail free card for inbound this time.
Jesus. I feel like I'm working out right now or something. I'm moving metal, dude. I can't catch my breath.
Is that what we call it? Inbound with no excavate, not for a little bit of time, at least 3/4 of the way back. And Blue Buff will drop down. And SOT will go back to pick that one up. Shinto has to use the beads, dashes away, Pin is there, healing out. And that keeps Shinto alive. Inbound gets feared away. It's perfect from Shinto. But it needed to be done. Not feeling great about that trade. You're just happy to be alive.
Yarkor dashes in aggressively, finds himself surrounded. He should fall here.
He goes big, descent into madness. Is there follow-up from the Leviathans? You'd love a Taiko drums there where everyone from the Scarabs is grouped up. Thunder crash out from Shinto. SOT continues to whirl forward on this King Arthur. And I think that's a worthwhile conversation that I probably had to tried to have had like
team
6
fight assets that the Leviathans have.
Sorry, I'm just chuckling thinking about whatever noise I made earlier. No chance. That was the noise.
You were like, it was like an It's Always Sunny, like you were a bird.
It happened again. That was on purpose, though.
Peak casting over here.
That was on purpose. Shinto, if you couldn't decipher what I was saying, got deleted in the mid lane. Zapman's in some trouble on left as well. Inbound. Not needed to make the big play. And the Game 2 surge from the Solar Scarabs is right on time.
Yeah, you called it, man. Game 2 always goes the way of the Scarabs, and as of now, they're living up to that. 2,000 gold in the lead and maintaining pressure on this right-hand side. Nice rotation from the Leviathans. Might be able to catch out SOT.
Panatom misses the initial bit of damage. Scream here as well. Kill participation king. Falling by the wayside a little bit in this one. 2 kills out of 5. Granted, everything has been happening on the left side of the map, it feels like. Now a chance for Scream to get back in the kill or assist column. Bad out of hell from Panatom will at least delay 1 for the time being. Descent into madness from Yarkor is big. Shinto's rotated in as well. Taiko drums could be huge. And he gets a lot of damage with it. A knockup from Baronic delays this one out, but a Thunder Crash finishes off the kill. 1 for 1 on the right. Baronic for Panatom.
Inbound still in there, though. Is able to displace Yarkor. I thought maybe for a second he had caught that dash, but a little bit too quick. Nice Riptide is going to make sure that Yarkor makes his way out of there. Back to the side that they've been winning pretty handily and try and get the Pyro.
Excavate takes some damage down onto the Pyromancer. It's reset and taken by the Atlantis Leviathans. There's the Taiko drums over the wall as well. Inbound dodges out a little bit of the damage, but Hardcore chasing down one.
Whiff.
Panatom chasing down the other, and he will get locked down by Scream. But around the back, Shinto, Hardcore, they're going to rotate in. Thunder Crash locks in SOT. And now Scream, the last man running, but a beautiful River's Rebuke keeps Yearlong Shen where it's at.
And now Yarkor able to make his rotation back in. Baronic finally joins the fight.
Shinto's taking a lot here, but Thunder Crash back off cooldown allows the Raijin to just squeak out of the right side of this fight. So it's a 2-for-1 trade, and a big pivot myth is that steal from the Leviathans. Actually, it might be 2 for 2 if Baronic hits everything here. It didn't need to hit everything. Only needed to hit the jump in, and Baronic does hit it. So now it's a 2 for 2, but the difference maker being the Pyromancer secured. Could be a 3 for 2 across the map if Stewart hits it, and he does. Zapman, that's a long solo kill, but a solo kill nonetheless as Stewart comes up big.
That's why we call him Stuhler, man. This is one of his favorite picks. Mystical Male, maybe. We see a Thieves. I doubt it. Could be just about anything from this point, or maybe aggression.
Blink in from inbound. Yeah, it's always aggression when you're talking about inbound on the Hercules. Just wide on the pull back. Jump out from Zapman. Excavate. Will not connect because of the Aegis. CC immunity for Zapman will not survive, but Scream has gone too far underneath the tower. You've spent a lot on this. If you're the Solar Scarab, Shinto, Thunder Crash forward, Taiko drums there, should he want to use them. Raiju in for the slow, inbound, taunted back into the awaiting arms of the Leviathans, and it's an overextension from the Scarabs.
The Scarabs have been playing mighty aggressive, and in doing so, leave themselves open to a counter-engage. The Leviathans are very happy.
At least at this point, all inbound needed was pressure to open up the purple buff invade. Big damage from Scream. Bat out of hell is out. Will the heal come in? Yes, it will. But it's not enough of a heal. Panatom gets some sustain on the end. Those vampiric bats hit. And it's a quick one-kill swing for the Leviathans. Can you convert that in the mid lane? The other two members a bit low after that fight.
Oh, no.
Pull back from inbound. Pushed back on the other side of the River's Rebuke. But the River's Rebuke is good. And the Riptide is great even. Wrong, you send Zapman back to safety beneath the tier 2.
Here comes Yarkor, and he's got the ultimate available. If he can isolate any individual member, the damage is still there. Shinto's ready.
It's only Hardcore's ultimate that's in this fight. Thunder Crash on out. You got to get it done with the normal abilities in the kit if you're the Atlantis Leviathans. SOT's got his. And outside of that, there's no ultimate for the Solar Scarabs either. So a bit even footing as far as ultimates go. But numbers-wise, the Leviathans a bit further out ahead. Primal Fury has sprouted forth from the earth here. Solar Scarabs considering it. And they've gone beyond.
Great pillar.
They're doing it. A good pillar from Zapman. Keeps SOT right where he's at. But he sends himself off to the left. Look at Hardcore running down the back line. The perfect 2 targets for this Cthulhu. Is there enough damage, though, to make Hardcore turn around? Aegis times out, but Hardcore will at least take one with him if he goes down.
Yeah, he picks up one, but Scream picks him up. Stewart in some trouble being chased out.
Bat out of hell.
Good Aegis
out from Stewart. One final swoop, and it's got it. Killing spree for Panatom, and this game has been turned around. 2-for-1
trade in favor of the Leviathans here with the Primal Fury up and ready, in 5 or 4 rather. He's not taking the 1v1, which is uncharacteristic for the Z-Man, but he's got his eyes on the goal.
Are you surprised, though? I mean,
no.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know if I'm wanting to fight Stewart at this point in the game. That's a great River's Rebuke from Wrong-You, and there's just way too much for Scream to get out of this one. So the 12th kill of the game for the Leviathans could be the 13th. And this is kind of how these fights have started. One person gets picked off, and then there's a rotation in from both teams after the fact to try to remedy what had just happened. Now it's the Solar Scarabs fighting at a disadvantage, number disadvantage. Shinto, big stun, big damage from Stewart, but Aegis avoids a whole lot of it by Shinto, and there's no Taiko drums. Those used just a moment ago.
Great
He's
impale.
got Blink, he's using it, impale out. As Zapman and Panatom and Inbound all kind of swap sides with one another. That's a Thunder Crash out from Shinto. Taiko drums, fearing onto a couple, but SOT is rotated even further behind the Raijin. And the fighting goes on here in the mid lane. Panatom swoops on away. A Riptide will send SOT in the same direction. The front line healthy enough for the Leviathans. Nothing more to be had. And the Primal Fury in the meantime worked on by the Scarabs.
Worked on very quickly as well. That is burning very fast. And the only one in range.
So enhanced buffs for the Solar Scarabs on this side of the map. Primal Pyromancer. This is what the Solar Scarabs take down. That's a big Pyromancer. It's the Primal one. Wrong-You walking on away as SOT walking on in. Veronica lets some damage fly, not much of it connecting onto the Leviathans. River's Rebuke separates 3 from 2 by the Solar Scarabs. Big impale onto SOT. Inbound has been left alone, but not taken down just yet. Panatom rampaging now. Double taunt in from Scream, who immediately turns around and leaves this fight. When Zapman's jumping in aggressively, you're not thrilled with the way that the fight is going. And look at the zone out from Hardcore. It's left SOT all on an island, all on its own, and all 5 members of the Leviathans pile on.
It's such a different look at Cthulhu. In the last game, it was very often the Leviathans would gun it down at SOT and say, I'm going to drop as much damage into you as I can before you're able to descend into madness. Yarkor isn't doing it quickly, and Panatom removed from the map. I'm not even allowed to analyze.
No, you're not. Scream is going to make you pay for taking a moment away from the fighting. Baronic might make us do so as well. Fire Giant's been dropped here. Baronic slowly gets taken down. Took a minute, but Hardcore is able to get that kill nonetheless. In the meantime, Stewart and Scream send their attention towards the tier 2 tower in mid. All things considered, Miff, the Solar Scarabs delay out the Fire Giant. Nice push-pull onto Hardcore, but that is a tanky Cthulhu. The bad news is there are reinforcements coming from the mid lane. And so can you delay Hardcore enough to maybe get another kill here?
Well, that's one way to do it.
Another pull. He's going to hit another push. Hardcore's got to head back the other way. And the chase continues. Somebody played Yakety Sax as the pin will connect. Scream gets the kill. And another one. TV show.
Well, how am I supposed to know that? British people are already fictional, and I gotta talk about their fiction?
My God. You're lucky there's a fire giant up here, Miff, and we can immediately pull away from that. And it's the Solar Scarabs. Look, this actually is pretty intense and pretty important. Fire giant locked in by the Solar Scarabs. Wrong you. No Omi. Panatom trying to pull at least a kill back. Get this FG buff off one of the Solar Scarabs. Unable to do so. River's Rebuke out from Wrong you. Panatom jumps away. Big damage from Zapman, who's already let his ultimate fly, so there's no execute damage on the other end. Scream continues his warpath, and it's Shinto on the other end.
Split engagement there for the Leviathans, and now Wrong you left completely alone. Stewart credit for this one, and Yarkor dashes in.
What a big turnaround from the Solar Scarabs. The Leviathans have been coming up big, but it's anything but here. Zapman might have his say here in this fight, but there's a lot still to be said by the Solar Scarabs. FG on 4 are dead. Leviathans running to the hills.
The Solar Scarabs do not lose game 2's Panatom, the only one still alive, and 20 seconds left on any reinforcements.
From inbound, but no follow-up on the other end. Panatom has been locked into the ultimate by SOT. Now the Kamazots will have to leap away. All this time, the damage has been connecting onto the left Phoenix. Riptide out from Wrongyu. Thunder crash away. Everyone from the Leviathans using everything to leave this fight. The Solar Scarabs smell blood, but it'll have to wait. The Leviathans make it back to Fountain.
Yarkor finally descends into madness, and he's got 4 surrounded. SOT acting alone.
Oh, it's big from SOT. Look, Shinto, Zapman, all eyes are on the back line. And the Solar Scarabs, in the meantime, have been able to pour everything in to Hardcore, who's on the front, but the Leviathans have stayed alive. They found 2 kills. The Solar Scarabs push into the left side of the map, and they'll come up empty-handed. Massive jump in. 3 men locked into place. Double kill for Zapman. Inbound gets his heal, and the Leviathans lose their Phoenix, but they stay alive in their base. 3-piece for Zapman.
The Titan at least drops down to half HP throughout all of that. The Solar Scarabs minion waves through mid have pushed in here, but they're dead for a very long time.
Active situation not fantastic outside of the blinks for the Solar Scarabs. Wrong you. I mean, that is a lot of CC onto the Emoja. Panatom spotted out on left. He'll be able to sustain himself right back up. Hardcore dashes into the back, uses the Thorns, uses the Descent into Madness, and SOT in the River's Rebuke will die as a lone wolf. And now the Leviathans, they've gotten a kill, but their Titans being worked on by the Fire Minions and the Tiamat Minions.
Yeah, Tiamat Minions also threatening that mid-Phoenix as well. The Leviathans don't have a whole lot of time to work with. Somebody has to back, and it's Panatom already in the base, so 4v4 around the fire.
Watch out, around the backside is Scream. He's all alone. He's knocked up everyone, but there's no one from the Solar Scarabs to follow up with the damage. Inbound's got a big pull, big push. It's on to Zapman, who immediately uses both actives. But the Honor lives on, and Excavate dropped on his dome, and the Solar Scarabs are able to pull back a kill.
Panatom still playing up cleanup duty on his own Titan.
Isn't used by both junglers. And a big moment there, but Panatom did have to use the beads, whereas in 25 seconds, Scream will have his. Thunder crash forward by Shinto, stun in from SOT. River's Rebuke out from Wrong. Use a 3 versus 2 on left. Scream left alone. Not enough damage to kill off the Raijin in the mid lane. Hardcore has gone big. Mid lane Phoenix falls as well as the left side. SOT left alone, and it looks like the Leviathans, it'll be the same trade. You lose your Phoenixes, but you win the fight.
All 3 Phoenixes this time, though. That is long shot odds for a comeback. The Leviathans in a good position to continue chasing this fight, but Waves already in your Minotaur, or Titan rather, it's not 2012, are going to put some threat.
Feels like so a small play for the Leviathans. They will reset the Titan. Solar Scarabs still have 3 members of that enhanced Fire Giant. Everyone in the game outside of Panatom have their actives ready to go, at least in the next 10 seconds or so. We might not get their River's Rebuke out. You have to fight outside of your base, and that's what the Leviathans are doing. Scream left alone, and Scream will die alone. Hardcore still surging forward.
And now the Leviathans are in a tough position. The right side is going to have some minion waves pushing in. SOT going to borrow it.
Wait, SOT and Inbound, they're going together into the base of the Atlantis Leviathans. Actually okay here. The waves pushed out far enough where none of those Phoenixes are immediately under threat. And so the Leviathans have the opportunity to contest this enhanced Fire Giant if they want to, but it's going down, it's going quickly. Leviathans!
What?
Oh my, they come up big.
Scream!
And they steal it away. Scream, the first to go down. The rest of the Solar Scarabs scattering in the backline. Hardcore is huge. The Cthulhu running down the backline of the Scarabs, and Zapman has cleaned up the other frontliner. And the Leviathans steal it away. They might have stolen the game, and they will take this set.
In ages of past, the narrative around the Leviathans is that you cannot beat them in the late game. They are too dominant. They work too well as a team, and now 2 members of the Scarabs, the only thing standing between the Order team and another dub.
Well, at this point, Panatom is just delaying the back, but he'll give Inbound the easy road back in. absurd, Mifflin. Hopefully, it was no less than 5 3 Phoenix turnarounds that we've got, because another one has happened here, and it's the Leviathans who keep all Phoenixes alive. They keep the game alive. They'll kill Stewart where he stands. And a 3 Phoenix turnaround goes the way of the Leviathans. They'll take the set 2-0.
Just the way they wrote it up, right? They wanted to keep everyone
Yeah,
on the edge of their seats to round out the phase, and what a way to close this one out. That is the